Yay, we're back. We're figuring it all out. We have to pivot. Um, yeah, recording from my phone today because pivots and all the things. So let's come down to the floor. And oh, I know what I want. Also, this sweet little pillow. So I've been reflecting. I'm digesting a very thick and heavy book called Cosmos and Psyche. It's all about, gosh, it's very thick. But it's really about our interrelationship with the cosmos, our psychology, archetypes, spirituality, the collective, and cosmic influences, particularly the outer planets. So Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. These deep themes. Woo! And what I've been reflecting on as this author is presenting a weave of history and art and sciences and philosophy and this evolution of this in the last 400 or 500 years in the Western context, and reflecting on how that brings us into this moment, this present moment. This present moment, we are really being squeezed, and we feel that as fascial tension in the body. We feel it during the moon time cycles, increased cramping, thicker, heavier flow, meaning stagnation, blood stagnation. We might be feeling it in the season of spring, where it's just heavy, and we would like to feel lighter. Maybe the sun is coming out more, the temperatures are warming up, it's a little bit windier, but still we have this heaviness, this dampness, this stagnation. It's very common. Where I'm at processing this book, and I'm only halfway through, is the ability to rest into tension, right? Because where we are right now is we're being pulled by two opposite forces. Feels like we're just going to be torn apart. Or maybe it feels like extreme contraction, like we're being squeezed between two opposite forces, right? Those of us that want to reclaim our humanity, those of us that are that have a conscience, those of us that are crying for solidarity and ceasefires and the end of senseless war, right? We're either being torn apart or squeezed, or even both of those at the same time. So what do we do to support this body? We have to actually learn how to rest into the tension. Because if you fight the tension, if you resist the tension, or if you simply just let yourself be squeezed or torn apart, that can't be the solution, right? So what does that look like when we bring that now to the embodied practice? What does that feel like in the body to rest into the tension? Like right now, I'm sitting here and I can think, where do I feel tension in the body? I feel tension just here in the outer hips. I feel tension in the groins. Where do I feel restfulness and openness in the body? I feel something up here, even in the belly, like front part of the body here. So let me rest into both the places where I feel openness and the places where I feel constriction as I take a few breaths, inviting all of us to take a few breaths and get centered into this experience here. This moment for us to explore. We don't have the answers. Like, that's another thing we need to admit to ourselves. We don't have the answers. We don't even have the systems in place to solve any of this. But that's not a barrier to engagement with the problem. This body technology, the answers live in here, but only if we spend time in here. Let the mind take a little break, coming into the body, into the breathing in the belly. And notice with enough breathing, a certain threshold gets crossed. And somewhere there's that tension, some little bit of it releases. Like I just had a little release on the outside of the left hip. I've had no release in either groin. But I can feel a little bit more of this like hiking that's happening here in the right hip. And gently opening your eyes. Let's keep with this exploration through movement. Go ahead and stretch the legs. Hands are behind you. And let's make some windshield wiper. The reason I chose the word resting into tension is because often I hear surrender. And I just felt like that English word was not hitting because we so often use surrender in terms of giving up, in terms of a fight, a battle, a war. And we have to get out of that mindset. That mindset of war informs us versus them in the psychology, in the mind. So go ahead and bring your hands behind you, fingers spread wide. You could even be a little bit leaning back. If that doesn't feel good on the wrist, this could be fists. Could be light fingertips as well. You're welcome to be a little slouchy here. We're down at the feet. We're going to flex and point at the ankles. And start moving, engaging, whether it's with the tension in the body, the openness, the stagnation, the flow, probably everything at once. All of it at the same time. Yeah. And circles, circles in the same direction. What kind of sounds is the body making? Click, clack, click, crack. Let's go opposite direction. Nice. We're going to separate the feet a little and make circles in opposites. And we can really start to feel the effect of this circle all the way up into the hips. And switching direction. Doing a good solid 10 at least in each direction, getting some warmth, movement. Nice, switch away first. Knee pull-ups, you're going to squeeze the quadricep muscle and release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release, pulling the kneecaps up and down. Let's get some movement through the knees. And we want to do about 20 minimum of these. Might try a few faster just to start to feel that. Nice. We're going to grab that right leg. Could hold from the outside, or we could also bring this arm to the inside and circle. Opposite direction. Cradling and rocking. So if it's possible, this foot can come into the crease of the elbow. And we can rock from side to side. You can hold at the wrist. You can put that knee into the other elbow. Give it a good Massage side to side and then hold and breathe. Take a nice breath in. Half lotus. Right, this foot draws up towards the crease of the thigh. Knee moves down towards the floor. Try to keep some evenness on two sides of the body. Two hips. Holding, breathing. Nice breath in and releasing this leg, giving it a good wiggle. Some of those knee pull-ups. And then just pause for a little comparison of the two legs. What we're activating, what feels different. Now we're ready to switch sides. So we started with circles. What can you relax while you're doing this? Could you relax the face with a smile? Relax the cheeks, the chin, the jaw. We did switch direction. Side to side rocking. Holding. Nice breath in. And half load. Breathing in. I'm breathing into that tension in the groin region. Nice breath in. Slowly, really shaking it out. Couple knee pull-ups. Feeling into both legs before we move into little butterfly series, Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet pressed together. Feel free to have the feet farther out, closer in, lots of options. And let's do some tilting here. Hips tilt forward, tailbone tucks under. Inhale, exhale. Find fluid movement here to the best of your ability. Let's go circles around the sacrum. Opposite direction. Taking a forward fold. What forward fold is inviting today? Opening the feet like a book, stretching through elbows, hands clasped around toes, lots of options. Use your breath. Coming all the way back up to center, stretching both legs, wiggling. Feeling into this lower body. And let's just take a little pause here. The resting version of this pose is to have the head towards the shoulder, if that feels good. Also, you can have the head back, but it rarely feels good to me. Where's this resting into tension paradigm in the low body right now? What is accessible here? Might close the eyes. Feeling. Mm. Back up here at the center. Let's engage upper body. We're going to fold the legs back into easy pose if you like. You could keep the legs extended. Also, you could be seated in a chair. There's a ton of options. Arms come out in front. Make a fist with the thumb on the inside. Squeeze and then stretch. The thumb is inside because we're really getting a nice stretch through the joint space of the thumb. Get out of it. Make a fist with the thumb on the inside and move the wrists up and down. Circle. Oh, I got like a symphony in my wrist. Opposite direction. Shake it up. Make a fist. No, just kidding. Flat palm, up and down. Not bad. Flat palm. Shake it up. And take a break. Rest in the arms. Maybe there was a little muscular tension from just holding the arms and doing those movements. Right. So, in order for us to know what resting into tension means, we need these little capsule experiences, these little micro experiences. We're like, okay, right, my upper arm was tired, it was getting tense, now it's relaxed. And in the process of relaxation, something changes with that tension. Something moves, shifts. Make a fist with the thumb on the inside, circles for the elbows with a little shake on the way up. Opposite direction. Nice. Shrug the shoulders up and down. Ooh, those are some cranky collarbones. It's because the bed I'm sleeping on is definitely made of cinder blocks. And I'm a side sleeper, so it's just like shoved into the joint space. Let's start loosening that up. Small shoulder circles. Opposite direction. Shrugs in between. What does it feel like to just get the shoulder blades moving? Big shoulder circles, trace with elbows, move as slowly as you need to feel the totality of the range of motion that's available to you. And let's go opposite direction. Nice shrug. Up. Coming up towards some neck movement. Let's make sure we have a pretty good posture here before we move slowly with the breath. Inhale, chin back. Exhale, chin towards the chest. Breathing in, exhaling. And yawn. This feels really good. Super simple movement, right and left. Yeah, this does not feel as good. Yeah, so openness in my neck was flexion and extension. Tension is here with this rotation. Goodness gracious. And this is lateral flexion, so ear to shoulder. Yeah, this has like very little movement available. Like the tension is so deep, it's just holding. Okay, we got one more. This is a compound movement. So this is involving flexion, and then this is rotation. And then it ends up at this lateral flexion. I've got my mouth slightly open, really relaxed. So, what I'm discovering in my neck right now, based on how much I'm yawning, I think I would say in my body right now, my neck is where I'm really maintaining tension. Like it's coming and going in other parts of the body, but the sides of my neck and both of my groin seem to just be like non-stop holding. So I'm noticing these tension patterns and I'm thinking about this sort of macro. How can I rest into this tension? My body's already doing something. Yawning, releasing from the jaw. Let's take this into twist, breathing in, seated twist, exhale, turning towards the space behind you. Take a nice breath in and exhale. Inhale. And I just noticed something as I constantly narrate my practice because I'm encouraging you all to do the same for yourself. So as I'm twisting to this side, to my left side, I write groin release. I, at this moment in time, cannot tell you why that is the way it is. But I want to investigate. Let's go back to the first side. Inhale and exhale, and you're holding. Keep breathing. Did the same phenomenon happen on the other groin? Not really. Interesting. Inhale, center. Exhale and twist. So, what I can start concluding is something asymmetrical is happening. there's a tension pattern that's just on one side, but something about this twist is releasing it, which means that the source of the tension, it's like Scooby-Doo, it's like deduction. Take a breath in. That means the source of the tension isn't the groin. Stretch the leg, wiggle it out. Probably the source of the tension is somewhere in the thoracic region. Oh, just feel the whole body here, whole body concept. And let's bring the legs into wide leg stance. I'm just at about 90 degrees, nothing too crazy. Turn to the right side, take a nice breath in, exhale a little bit forward. I got the feet flexed. Inhaling back up, exhaling a little bit over to the left side, or whichever side. Inhale back up. Let's take this to the center. A little liver channel stretch. Nice inhale all the way back up. Let's bring the arms up. Side body stretch, opposite direction. And let's do a little dynamic exploration with this top arm. So bring these fingertips away from you and just see about that whole fascia on the side of the neck, and then sweep that arm in front. Inhale, rotate the chest towards the sky, and then again. Or any other variation that you may discover here that might feel good. Might feel like it's opening up something, discovering something. Inhale all the way back to center. And opposite side. Make sure you're stretching evenly on both sides. Oh, good. Stretching that arm to the side. Wiggling the jaw. Inhale across the body. Inhale. Rotate chest towards the sky. One more here. Stretch for the side of the neck. Inhale. Both arms up. And slowly down. Stretching both the legs. Little range of motion movements. Hands are behind you, knees are bent. Let's go. Inner rotation. So this is internal rotation. I just want to keep doing this until something feels a little loose. Couple more. And let's go external rotation. So we are in almost like a half pigeon. A little stretch forward to really activate into the hip. And alternating sides. And now exhale. About one more time to each side. Nice. We're going to come onto hands and knees. Fingers spread wide. Inhaling, arching, looking up. Exhale, spine towards the ceiling. Down. Don't have to do a lot on that arch. Let's go side to side movement. About one more to each side there. Nice. We're going to come into a tabletop here, alternating. Right arm, left leg stretches straight out and back to the center. Make sure that hand on the floor is supporting you. Fingers spread very wide under the shoulder. Draw the navel inwards. One more to each side. Nice. Take a child's pose. So, last time I was telling you about these 5 poses that go with this typical seasonal kriya, Shankara Prakshalana. So, another one of these poses is called striking cobra. We do this all the time as a range of motion movement. But from child's pose, come forward like you're doing upward facing dog. Let the chest come forward and then rotate the head from side to side. And back to child's pose, widen the knees. We also did this last week, at least started to explore, could we do like a ripple movement for the upper thoracic spine? So we're here in cat pose, and it's like we're doing a circle so that the shoulder blades are doing different things. Try the opposite direction. Now get underneath those shoulder blades. Switch back to the first direction. Just like all little rotation moves, one direction is easier than the other. And switch. Nice. Take a child pose. Once again, striking cobra. All right, so when we do this as range of motion, we Dip the hips a little side to side. Striking cobras, turning the head side to side. Child's pose into downward facing dog. Soft bend in the knees, soft arch in the low back. Walking the feet towards the hands. Walking hands back towards feet. Couple times tabletop pose. Soft arch in the low back. Exhale, holding forward. In and exhale. Inhale. Widen the feet, come down into Malasana, garland pose or squat. Play a little here. Getting comfy into the squat. Stretching through the heels, the ankles. From the squat, forward fold. Inhale and come all the way to standing. Roll the shoulders. Opposite direction. Little intuitive stretches. Get into tight places. Big arm circles. Opposite direction. Lots of creative stretches. Standing hip circles. Opposite direction. Nice. Backwards and forwards. Ring the bell. Figure eights. Soft knees. Nice. Wide leg stance. Standing is a range of motion movement, side lunge. Bending one knee. Knee's going to go towards your foot. Nice inhale in the center, exhale, forward fold. Have some weight on the hands. And again, side lunge. So bend one knee and straighten. Just exploring those groin attachments. Forward fold. Walk the feet in just a little. So we could come into chikarachi, squatting stance. Heels turn in. And we're coming up into the martial stance. Tailbone just slightly tucked forward, and I mean very slightly. Just so we can really activate into the groins here, make some space in the inguinal crease. Next inhale, straightening up. And stepping the feet together. Shake away. Take it a little higher. Not quite a front kick, but just a little light kick forward. And then just knee to the side. Listening to all those ligaments there. Click our ribbon. And what does it feel like to kick behind you, right? So we're coming forward. These are kind of zipped together and just behind you. So knees together, kicking behind. If you can turn and look and keep the balance, that's cool. Take your time. Really want to get to where we're going and then kick. Pretty deadly kick. How about one more to each side? Nice. Dance it out. And let's do those two palm tree poses that we did last week. Palm tree pose, swaying palm tree pose. Feet are pretty close together on this one. Hands are interlaced over the head. Find a focal point. Inhale. And give that little extra at the top. All the way through the spine, all the way through the toes. And back down. And definitely laugh at yourself and balance is hard. Oh, such a good stretch for the spine. And swaying palm tree pose. Space between the feet. Into these hands, like you're kicking a hip out to the side. And, you know, so you don't have to go so far. Swaying palm tree pose. Nice. Back to center. So yeah, the 5 poses are first Shankara Prakshalana. This pose, so palm tree pose, swaying palm tree pose. Then there's this pose from standing. I forget the name of it, but you have the feet in line with the hips. You bring one arm to a shoulder, the other behind, and you do this like twisting motion. Because think, you ingested warm salt water. So you're like squeezing it through all the intestines. Yeah. The other one, my body didn't like that pose very much, but it revealed to me what's holding. Then let's do some just standing relaxed. Um, then is the pose we did today of striking cobra. And then the last one, again, I've forgotten the name in Sanskrit, but it's a real kind of tight, deep twist done in like Vajrasana, like half Vajrasana, to really get like large intestine. So the poses, if you're feeling it, you can feel these are like real detoxifying poses. Getting blood moving, digestion moving. Now you start to slow down, come to a stop. Let's come back down to the floor. We've had a few classic springtime poses we've been doing down here on the floor, including Janusirsasana, Marichyasana. You could always modify these to be less squeezy in any way. Let's bring right foot back. Press on the inside of the thigh, flex left foot. Inhale, stretch up, exhale, reach for the foot. So, that tension pattern back there, it's not happy. So I'm really going to dial back my arms because I will help myself more by not engaging the tension pattern. Maybe that's something wise in our inquiry today. Like, are you actively engaging the tension pattern? How are you exacerbating this collective tension? We're not advocating for bypass. We're saying we got to engage it. And how can we do that in a way that is kinesthetically productive, positive, where we access healing? Inhale back up and explore what's happening on opposite side. Just try to keep that stretch even on both sides. You might have more available to you on an opposite side. Next inhale. Exhale. Let's squeeze in here, Marichyasana 1, right foot over the left. Wrapping with left arm. Backhand pushes chest forward. Turning towards the space behind you. Breathe in the pose. Let's switch sides. Left leg. Inhale. Breathe in. Exhale back to center. Paschimottanasana, seated forward bend. Both feet flex. Might have moved the flesh a little out of the way back there. We're inhaling, stretching up. Exhaling, reaching forward. Breathing whole of the back body. Purposefully putting ourselves in tension, only to explore what could be on the other side. Next inhale, bringing ourselves back up. Exhaling down, taking a resting pose. What does it feel like to release our intentional tension? I mean, isn't that what we do in every yoga asana? Purposefully put ourselves into tension, if only to rest into it. Take a big scooch forward, come down onto your back, draw the knees in towards the chest. Give the legs a hug. Reaching, letting the knees float to the outside, reaching from the inside for the feet to come into happy baby pose. Hands push into feet, feet push into hands. The trick is to really let the knees go wide. And as you like, there could be a little exploration of rocking from side to side, massaging the flanks. Stretching these feet up to the sky, giving a wiggle. Bringing both feet to the floor, zigzag twist. Turning head in the opposite direction. Bridge pose, Sattva, bending both knees, feet in line with the hips, hands by sides of feet. Inhale, lifting as much as it feels meaningful for you. I'm just noticing some tension in the quads. So I'm not just trying to push through. I'm thinking about breathing there, relaxing. Can I also lift my chest? Nice breath in. Exhale down. Give a little tailbone wiggle. Stretch both legs. Arms out to the side for single leg twist. We're going to bend right knee. Let that knee fall to the outside. Turn the head in the opposite direction. Take a breath. Inhale, center. Exhale across the body. Breathe. Lots of breathing. Inhale back to center and release. Switching sides, left leg. Drop that knee to the outside, turn the head in the opposite direction. Inhale back to center. Exhale across the body for the twist. And inhale all the way back to center. And take a moment to just be still. Find your breath. Before we do anything, ask your body what would be the next step, the most supportive thing to follow the therapeutic movement that we just did. A nice shavasana, a yoga nidra, seated meditation. Is it time to just cruise into the next thing, or nourish with tea, have a little liminal time, some journaling, but just pause for a moment. This is the luxury of not being at the yoga studio. And just listen to wise body. And see what could be the next possibility. If it involves you sitting up, you could roll to a side and use both hands to come up to seated. Check back in with that seated posture. If you're like, oh no, mine involved me staying exactly where I am, I commend you. What a lovely springtime practice today. Always wonderful to share space with you all. Ah, keep it moving. Stay hydrated, and some other advices. I'll see you very soon.